I just need to stop drinking. I heard it from everyone, my partner, my boss, my brother. Eventually, even my own reflection in the mirror started saying it. But the truth, I didn't know if I could. I wasn't even sure if I wanted to. All I knew was that alcohol was slowly, quietly, taking everything I cared about, and I felt completely powerless. Then I met someone who changed everything. They didn't tell me what to do. They just asked me a simple question: what do you want? And that was the beginning of my new life. From the outside, I probably didn't look like someone with a drinking problem. I had a good job, paid my bills on time, but behind closed doors it was a different story. I was drinking more than ever, hiding bottles, and waking up every single morning with a knot of anxiety, exhaustion, and shame in my stomach. Everyone kept giving me advice, but I didn't need more advice. I needed someone to understand how deeply, hopelessly stuck I felt. I needed someone to help me find a way out. That's when I found a counselor trained in something called motivational interviewing. And for the very first time, I didn't feel judged. I didn't feel pushed. I just felt heard. So what exactly is motivational interviewing? It's a counseling style designed to help people find their own motivation to change, especially when they feel torn or unsure. It was developed by psychologists William Miller and Stephen Rolnick, and it's a game changer in addiction treatment. Instead of a lecture like, "You have to stop drinking," it's a conversation. The questions are different. What's important to you in your life? In what ways is alcohol helping you right now? And in what ways is it hurting you? If you could picture your ideal life, what would it look like? It's a respectful, collaborative partnership. It's not a one-way street. For someone like me, who was constantly on the defensive, feeling judged and completely stuck, it felt like coming up for air. My journey with motivational interviewing started right where I was. In our first session, my therapist didn't even use the word sobriety. Instead, she just asked, "What's been on your mind lately about your drinking?" There was no pressure, no shame, just this gentle, curious tone. So I told her the truth. I said, "I'm so tired of feeling like this, but I honestly don't know if I'm ready to stop completely." And she just nodded and said, "That makes a lot of sense." That was it. That was the first time anyone had ever validated my mixed-up feelings, and it made me want to keep talking, to open up. Motivational interviewing recognizes that feeling two ways about something, what they call ambivalence, is a totally normal part of change. Instead of fighting that feeling, you explore it. Over the next few weeks, we started to dig deeper. We used tools to find my why. We made lists of the pros and cons of drinking versus stopping. She'd ask me scaling questions like, "On a scale of 1 to 10, how ready do you feel to make a change right now?" And slowly I started to hear myself saying things out loud. Things like, "I really want to be more present with my kids. I hate waking up feeling guilty every morning. I miss feeling proud of myself." These weren't ideas she was planting in my head. These were truths I was discovering inside myself. Then came the goal setting. Instead of demanding I quit cold turkey, my therapist asked, "What would a successful first step look like for you right now?" For me, that goal was just to drink less during the week. It might sound small, but motivational interviewing supports any step in the right direction. What's known as harm reduction, not just an all-or-nothing approach. Each week we'd reflect, what went well, what got in the way, what could we try next time? It was never about being perfect. It was always about making progress. And research backs this up. Motivational interviewing is proven to be effective for all sorts of behavioral changes, leading to higher engagement and better long-term results. Of course, the path wasn't a straight line. One weekend, I relapsed. I drank way more than I had planned, and I felt like a complete and utter failure. I was ready to give up. But when I told my therapist, she didn't shame me. She said, "Okay, let's talk about what happened. Let's look at this not as a setback, but as data." We explored the triggers. We brainstormed what I could do differently next time. We focused on what I learned from the experience. That was a huge turning point. I realized that a relapse wasn't the end of my recovery journey. It was just a part of it. Over time, something amazing started to happen. My goals began to shift on their own. I went from just wanting to cut back to wanting to abstain completely. I went from just trying to survive to wanting to thrive. My focus changed from just avoiding bad consequences to actively chasing fulfillment. I joined a peer support group. I started the slow, hard work of rebuilding trust with my family. I even started jogging again, and for the first time in years, I started to feel proud of my body and what it could do. Motivational interviewing didn't just help me stop drinking. It helped me reconnect with the person I had always wanted to be. Today, it's been 2 years since I had my last drink. I won't pretend every single day has been easy, because it hasn't. But every day I live with a clarity, a peace, and a self-respect that I never thought was possible for me. I've learned that I don't need alcohol to cope with life. I've learned that change is possible, no matter where you're starting from. And most importantly, I learned that the answers I was so desperate for were inside me all along. I just needed someone to help me find them. Motivational interviewing didn't fix me. It empowered me to grow. So if you're watching this and you or someone you love is thinking about making a change, here's what I want you to know. You don't have to hit rock bottom to start. Having mixed feelings is completely normal. It doesn't mean you're failing, and you do not have to do this alone. Motivational interviewing can be a gentle but incredibly effective way forward. Whether you want to quit, cut back, or just start exploring your options, you deserve support without judgment. Please remember, this video is for sharing my story and information, not to replace professional medical advice. If you're struggling, please reach out to a qualified health professional or a support line. Help is available and it works. Change doesn't have to start with certainty. Sometimes it just starts with a question. A question like, what do I want my life to look like? And if you don't know the answer yet, that's okay. The journey begins with curiosity, not perfection. You have the strength inside you, you have the right to heal, and you are never alone. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If this resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more content on recovery and personal growth. Take care.